Low Class Week 6 wrap up. I'm going to be trying to make these videos significantly shorter. I know it's probably a bit of a burden for to ask anybody to be watching these 20-minute videos, so I'm going to even condense them even more. So, Vantage Point, Deidre's supervisor as to whether or not she's doing a good job is the bottom line. There was a list of things that and areas that you all were expected to take a look at and decide, pass an opinion as to whether or not she has been doing well in those areas. For the most part, everybody pretty much agreed. There were some differences of opinion and ideas as to whether or not she did well or not. But the bottom line, did she generate solutions? Sure, she generated solutions on her own. Did she create an environment such that the rest of the team was able to contribute to those solutions and possibly give her insight to explore options, this sort of thing? Absolutely not. Everybody's pretty much in agreement with that. This was very much of a panic situation. Hopefully you won't find yourself, you research, the one thing that every research study has in common is that there are going to be times where you are finding yourself having to put up fires, little emergencies here and there. The way to best avoid those is to do a risk analysis, have a meeting with your key leaders of your team, and start writing down the risks that could occur, one of which is always slow enrollment, and how to mitigate that. What are the causes? And then you start to break it down, and you break that down when everybody's calm, everybody's cool, very thoughtful, and you record all of this. And depending on how much risk there is, you develop a plan. So that way this goes into place, and you would decide at what point would this plan go into place for this particular risk. Low enrollment, you've got the following reasons have been identified, and this is our plan. At least the skeleton plan. Sometimes you want to go into a little bit more detail, but you go from there. Exploring your options, I'm not sure that she did. It's tough to explore options when you're by yourself. You don't have anybody providing any input, selecting your best solutions, and evaluating the plan. I guess it's difficult. It's sort of like grading your own paper when you're evaluating a plan and trying to do it on your own. Communicate. Obviously, she did an extraordinarily poor job of communicating out her plan. She found herself in this situation. She took the bull by the horns, and I guess from that standpoint, she should be commended. But she didn't include the but she should have included the rest of the team. I'm not sure that it was necessary for her to do this all by herself. There are some people that do engage in that sort of behavior where they just charge in. They don't want to waste any time. They want to just get this thing done. They're mad, they're upset, they're irritated, they feel responsible. There's all kinds of reasons, some of them good, some of them not so good, but at the end of the day, she didn't include her team. Her team felt alienated, and that never ends well. And then monitor. The one thing that nobody would really discussed and didn't really come up was how to, and it really wasn't here, so I didn't expect anybody to mention it. But monitoring the plan, how do you, if you put in these ideas and you put in these actions to address a low enrollment, you have to be able to track it. I know I've discussed this before, and you all are aware of it. Hopefully, the team will have a CTMS to be able to monitor how well everything is going from a site level, week to week, month to month. The one thing that some teams try to engage in is calling almost daily to find out what sort of ideas and plans and numbers of subjects and screening numbers and appointments that individual sites have. You will do nothing but irritate the sites, and they will push that study aside because it's not worth the aggravation. So it's almost like weighing yourself every day at lunch to see if you've lost weight. It's just not a good idea. It's not productive, and so it's if you want to make contact with the site, I would do so. Say give them every 2 weeks again. But this is dependent on the study. There are going to be some that enrollment is slow, and it's kind of like moving a barge where you make a move now and then you have to wait several months for it to see what sort of response there's been. and there are others like a speedboat where you can make maneuvers very, very fast. I did it was a mountain cedar study years ago, and that was extraordinarily fast. We're talking about hundreds of subjects that are brought in within a few weeks. So that is obviously very, very fast moving, as opposed to some oncology studies that are just glacier-like in how quickly they enroll subjects. So all of these things have to be taken into consideration. Every situation is different, and you have to be very thoughtful about how you go and in the sorts of moves, but including your team, at least key members of your team, the key leaders of your team is always important. And how you disseminate information will be dependent on the size of the team, where are they, time zones, but they should obviously don't do what Deidre did and give everybody enough time to digest everything that's going on. Assignment 2 is due 10/15. That's in 4 days. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. As always, text me and let me know what sort of, if you've emailed me a question, so that way I can be sure to get to it as quickly as I can. I make a concerted effort to do so when I know that there's a question pending. Otherwise, good luck, and I'll see you on the discussion board.